Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Jersey Concept Friday here on the channel. It is the weekend. The weekend has begun. That means there's Jersey Concepts here on Post to Post. If you're new, my name is Neil, and every Friday we look at Jersey Concepts from the community, from designers in the community. And this week we have a possible doozy, okay? The series is called Rivals, NHL Rivals. 32 NHL jerseys with the series Rivals. We've done something similar in the past, years ago, I think, actually, from a different designer. And it was one of the favorite videos that I've ever done because of what it represents. Now, I have not seen these before. I have no idea if it's going to be kind of the same thing, but in the past, Rivals has meant that you take a team, we'll say the Montreal Canadiens, okay? You take their rival, the Toronto Maple Leafs, and you swap the theme of the team, the colors, the logos a little bit, like the thematic of the team. So basically, the Montreal Canadiens jersey looks like the Toronto one, and the Toronto one looks like the Montreal one. Sometimes it's very strange, and sometimes it really works. So the designer this week is Jamie, and that's, I assume, what he's done. I don't know what else Rivals would be, and I know he's familiar with the history of the channel, so maybe he tried his hand at exactly that. So let's jump in. Let's react to these together for the first time, and let's see how he does. Let's bring up the first one. It's going to be Anaheim. Okay, coming up. There it is. Okay, so yes, I do believe that this is the track that we are on because I see Anaheim logo, but the San Jose Sharks colors. This isn't actually that, I guess, disruptive because the green, the teal that you see there, isn't really that different than the Anaheim green that we've seen floating around a little bit over the years. And the orange itself that's on the sleeves, the bottom of the jersey and stuff, well, that's pretty close to the gold that or bronze, whatever you want to call it, that the Anaheim Ducks have used in the past. And because of that, this looks a little bit natural, or maybe more natural than it should. I actually really like this. I think this is an example of maybe when it works. Maybe the opposite of this, if his design of San Jose is Anaheim's colors, we won't see that till later because of abbreviations and file names and stuff. But maybe it won't work. I don't know. Well, let's move on to the next one and see. Boston should be next. Boston is next. So I used Montreal Toronto as the example earlier, but I should have used Montreal Boston because Boston here has the Montreal Canadiens colors. This, I would say, is a scenario that kind of works, but mostly doesn't. Kind of because of the Boston Red Sox. And, the city of Boston in sports is familiar a little bit with the color red. But in hockey, no red on a Boston Bruins jersey. You can't do it. So for that reason, I think this is probably more of a miss than a hit. It doesn't look bad. It just doesn't look right. So I'll leave it at that. Next, the Buffalo Sabres. I suspect that the Devils are the, I guess, rival in this situation. I would probably choose maybe the Toronto Maple Leafs as a rival for Buffalo more than anything else. Not so much the Devils, but I guess I assume that this is the Devils. I guess it could be Carolina, it could be Detroit, maybe, I guess. Maybe Montreal, but not really. This has to be the Devils, right? Plus with the script font on there, like that's the Jersey. That's the Jersey font, right? So yeah, it looks okay, but it was almost Buffalo from the beginning because Buffalo has used red and they have used black with the original GOAT jersey and then the current GOAT jersey, the alternate. So it's not really that off-brand for them. It looks okay. Don't love the logo, aside, but still, it doesn't look that different. Oh, very confusing. Very confusing. Carolina Hurricanes using the Nashville Predators jersey, but not the current Nashville Predators jersey. Just, there's a little tweak in there. And there's an especially big tweak in the middle because of the logo. I actually really like that logo colorized like that. I think the blue and the yellow are very complementary to that logo, so it looks pretty good. It's very strange, though. I don't think this works at all. This really destroys my brain. I can't compute this one, but I do like the logo individually. Okay, the Columbus Blue Jackets with the Washington Capitals Screaming Eagle kind of reverse retro 1 design. To me, this works because we're already utilizing colors that the Columbus Blue Jackets use: red, blue, and white. That's exactly what we see here on the same jersey that already exists from the Washington Capitals. So this isn't that foreign, and it it looks like a uniform. It really does kind of look like a uniform. So, I mean, the Blue Jackets like that, their whole theme is kind of like uniform looking. So, I think this looks pretty good. Maybe the best one so far, or the most on point for the brand. Ooh, this is another one of those ones that really kind of break the stick of the mind, the hockey stick of the mind here. This is brutal. The Edmonton Oilers. Oh, I can't. Like, I think the logo itself, if you just removed it from the jersey and just had the logo separately in orange, you'd be like, yeah, okay, that doesn't look that bad. But on that specific Edmonton Oilers design with the shoulders and the arms, this doesn't work. This looks so odd and so strange. I would say that this is definitely not acceptable for Edmonton fans or Calgary fans. Moving on to the Chicago Blackhawks. I immediately love this. It's very strange, but I love, like, look at the color of the face of the logo. You don't see that. I mean, you do elsewhere in the Blackhawks jersey, in like in the shoulder patch, depending on which one they use. They've used multiple different colorizations of that logo, the secondary one, over the years. But look at how much of the same color is in the stripes because of the yellow of St. Louis. The only like negative thing I might say is that the interior of the jersey is a bit of a darker blue. It kind of doesn't play well with the, I guess, the blueness of the hair. But I really like it. Like this is I think one of those examples where the crossover works. The crossover definitely works for me here, and I like this one. I like this one. Next, well, it's the Colorado Avalanche in, I don't know, Detroit Red Wings, I guess, colors, although that looks like off-white on my screen. Let me switch monitors. It still looks like off-white, so I'm not sure if this is the Detroit Red Wings. I assume it is, but if you're a bit younger, you might think, well, why does the Colorado Avalanche, or why would the Colorado Avalanche have a rivalry with the Detroit Red Wings? Like, they're not even in the same conference. We got to go back, okay? I'm aging myself here. We need to go back into the 90s, the mid-90s, where the Colorado Avalanche played the Detroit Red Wings in some of the best hockey that has ever existed in the sport, okay? It was that good, okay? And it is that good. Even if you watch it now, it is that good. Going back and watching it, it's incredible. So I assume that Detroit is the rival here. It looks okay. I think the logo blends in a little bit too much in the middle. There's almost too much white or off-white in the middle of the logo. I'd maybe want to see that changed up a little bit, but that's really nitpicky. You know, this is on the fence. It kind of works, but it kind of doesn't. Whoa, okay. I'm seeing Minnesota Wild, specifically Minnesota Wild Stadium Series Reebok jersey. But we obviously have the Dallas Stars logo. This isn't that bad. I think I would like a different colored interior, like the D that's green in there. I think if you made that off-white, made the background color green instead of off-white, and kept the exterior red, maybe that would look a little bit better. I'd have to see it, but there's something off about the D logo in the middle there being green. But I mean, it works. It does work for Dallas, and I would like to see some red in some Dallas uniforms, back like they did in the Mooderers days. Okay, moving on. Yeah, okay, so Colorado and Detroit here, rivals. This Detroit jersey is very unacceptable. If you are a Red Wings fan right now sitting at home, in your head you just went, nope, not acceptable. And not as a Red Wings fan, even I know that. So I don't think that this works in any scenario or multiple universe. Next, oh no, definitely not. No, this one doesn't work for me either. This is exactly the same way, like I feel exactly the same way about this as I did the Calgary one earlier. You just can't do it. Like, it just doesn't work. You can't put the Edmonton Oilers logo on the Calgary pedestal jersey. It's a crime. Jamie, you might be arrested for this. You might want to watch your back. Like, you can't do this. This is wild. This does not work for me personally. Yeah, maybe it would for someone. I don't know that person though. I don't know if that person exists. Let's move on to the Florida Panthers. Now, that I actually kind of like that logo. I would like to see that logo expanded a little bit. The way that they have the current Florida Panthers logo almost as like a portrait with it's more of a serious Panther versus the original Panther, the aggressive one. So to have it on this like emblem kind of thing, pretty logical actually. I don't mind that. I think that's a pretty interesting direction that Jamie went there for the logo. And I like it. I like the way it looks on the jersey, but the colors are definitely weird. Like I really miss the red for Florida, so that's throwing me off. Oh no. Oh no. I think I think it's the font that bothers me the most. I want that font to be white. Like the Kings font, the Los Angeles Kings in the logo, if that was white, for some reason I think this would be way more acceptable. I actually don't mind the gold that's on the sleeve. It doesn't really bother me for the Kings. Don't know why, it just doesn't. Maybe because yellow was part of their original colors back in the day, 1967. But the logo itself is really throwing me off. So maybe if that would change, this could be pretty good. Ooh, 100%, absolutely, make this happen. Like I mean, obviously not make this would never happen because Dallas and Minnesota would be in court. But this is so good. Like that, if you take the Dallas Stars jersey, the one that you see here, and you think, will be the perfect logo, regardless of team, will be the perfect sports logo that you could put on here that would represent this jersey the best, it would almost certainly be the Minnesota Wild logo. It is perfect for this. I love it. I think this completely fits. This is amazing. This is really, really good jersey. It's not weird for me. Okay, this is weird for me. We went from not weird to extremely weird. The Montreal Canadiens. I'm not opposed to the Montreal Canadiens using a little bit of yellow just to spice up maybe an alternate or a specialty jersey or something. But with the blue or with the red and stuff, you can't do black and yellow or gold, black and gold for the Montreal Canadiens. It just doesn't work. The Montreal logo is so iconic in their colorization that you can't use black and yellow and white. It just can't happen. This is not acceptable, Jamie. Not acceptable. The New Jersey Devils in the Buffalo Sabres jersey. This isn't that bad because we have to go back into history a little bit. New Jersey, the Devils, came from, I'm trying to think of the year, sorry. I think it was 1982, somewhere around there. I think it was 80, 81, 82, when the Devils came from Kansas City. Actually, I got to look this up because I want to make sure that, I'm sitting there thinking about it. I want to look it up to make sure that I get this right because it is important. So, okay, I apologize. I got the year right. I didn't get the path right. So I forgot completely about the Colorado Rockies. So the Devils were birthed in 1982, but they did come from Colorado, not Kansas City. They went Kansas City, Colorado, and then to New Jersey. So I apologize for that. I got the year right, I guess, but not the scenario. So I'm going to bring this image back up. So this isn't that weird for me because you've got Kansas City colors, Kansas City Scout colors here, kind of for the Devils. That's part of, what was it, Reverse Retro 2.0, I think it was. So this isn't really that weird for me. I think this works. That was a long way to say that. Next, the Nashville Predators. Okay, this to me is way more acceptable than the reverse version of this. Like that Carolina Hurricanes jersey with the Nashville colors was weird. This, for whatever reason, it feels a little more acceptable. I think it might be because it's a little bit similar to the goat jersey, the goat head jersey from Buffalo. The black, the red, you've got this creature kind of on the front. So it's not really that weird, I guess. I would be okay if Nashville actually did something like this. Moving on, this is tough. This is tough because that is such an iconic Rangers jersey, specifically the numbers. To see that with an Islanders logo, Islanders fans and Rangers fans are going to be really upset at this part of the video, big time. But I hate to say it, but it actually doesn't look that bad. Like it looks very acceptable for their brand. Let's continue, and then we get to the Rangers. Okay, this one's a little bit worse. It still works kind of, but it's very odd to see Rangers in orange. That's super weird for me, and yeah, super weird. And the numbers to not have like those specific Ranger numbers. That's like one of the best things about their brand. It's so old school, it's so iconic to not have that. I'm missing out. I feel like I'm missing out here. The Ottawa Senators in Toronto Maple Leafs colors. I actually love this. This is one of the best two-tone jerseys that I've seen, and it's not even a realistic one. I don't think that the Ottawa Senators would do this for two reasons. Number one, obviously because it's the Toronto Maple Leafs jersey. It's very close to it. And number two, blue's not even in their color palette. So this makes no sense for Ottawa, but I think it looks amazing. It looks really, really good. Big fan of this one. Oh, wow. Did you see what just happened here? This jersey deked me. Okay, I just got completely geeked out by this jersey. I said Pittsburgh. I started to say Pittsburgh, and it is clearly the Flyers. The Flyers logo on a Pittsburgh jersey, that really threw me big time. That's funny that I caught that on camera. Very strange. Very, very strange. The logo itself is fine because yellow and orange, very close. So that little dot in there, not a big deal. But very strange to see that logo on this jersey. Wow, that was intense. Next, yeah, this doesn't work at all, I don't think. No, you can't. It's a little easier to put the orange on the Philadelphia, or sorry, the gold or the yellow on the Philadelphia than it is to put the orange on the Penguins. It just doesn't work. It feels very off. It feels very wrong. Okay, moving on to the Seattle Kraken with old school Vancouver Canucks colors here. This is actually pretty cool. I don't love that it's not very symmetrical. Like I kind of want to see some black at the bottom of the other arm, but man, that's actually really awesome. And the eye isn't red. The eye is white. It's the only white part of the entire jersey. So like, that's a little bit spooky. I like this one actually. Next, okay, so now we've come full circle from Anaheim, the number one, to San Jose. This is a miss because of the bronzy color. Like the jersey itself having being orange as the primary color. We've seen that in the Reebok years. I think San Jose had an alternate maybe that was orange, and so that's not weird. But the color, like the bronzy color in the logo, is really not okay. Is really not okay. But hey, if San Jose wants to use this jersey design and swap the bronze for the teal, I think I'd be okay with that. Moving on. That is an interesting logo. That is a very interesting logo, but it is not okay. I don't think this is going to be acceptable for Blackhawks fans or St. Louis Blues fans. This is a very heated rivalry that spans decades and decades back. So I don't think that this isn't going to work for me, but it's not terrible. Okay, this is actually, I think this has potential. Like the red is throwing me off, but I kind of like that little bit of a transition on the lightning bolt there. Not those colors, and maybe not that harsh, but maybe some kind of traditional smooth gradient versus this kind of staged look here. There is potential there for something, but the red for the lightning is really, really throwing me off. Moving on to the, wow, okay. So I think at this point I could probably say conclusively that the best looking swap is the Ottawa Senators and the Toronto Maple Leafs, because I look at this and I love this. I think this is amazing. I'm probably being influenced by Team Canada jerseys a little bit. Team Canada jerseys use the maple leaf, and they're typically red, or they're white with red accents. There's also black Team Canada jerseys with red and white accents. That's pretty similar to this. So I think this looks way more acceptable than it probably should, just because of the Canadian aspect and colors to that. But I think this is great. Like even Toronto has used red in their logo in the text before. We got to go back decades and 60 years or whatever it was, but it happened. They did use it. So even the font itself being red isn't that foreign for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm sure that Maple Leafs fans won't be happy to see this or happy to hear that I like it, but I like it. I think it looks very good. So I'm on board for this one, Jamie. Next, the Utah Hockey Club, using what I assume is the Winnipeg Jets jersey a little bit. It's okay. I don't really have much to say here. The jersey design is, I think, better than the Winnipeg one, just because we don't have that. It gets awkward here in the Winnipeg jersey, because you've got stuff going down, you got stuff going sideways. This eliminates that. It's good colors. It's more like reverse retro 2.0 inversed a little bit. Don't love the logo. Next, this is cool. Vancouver Canucks swap with the Seattle Kraken. The logo colorized that is really cool. The eye, it really makes it pop. The eye that is red in the Kraken logo is now red in the Vancouver Canucks Orca logo. I think it looks really good. This looks super good, actually. Big time good. Big fan of this. Next, Vegas fans aren't going to be happy with this. No. Not going to be happy. And probably not going to be happy even more, because I am going to say that I like it. I don't think it's logical. It'll never happen. But I just like the way it looks. I think that the colors are very complementary. And they also kind of fit the logo a little bit. So like the V really pops in the logo there. It looks so good. So I'm going to say that I like it, but it's not plausible. And we got the Utah jersey on the Winnipeg logo, or with the Winnipeg logo adjusted, obviously. This looks really good. I think black for Winnipeg is a very viable color. I think they could absolutely do that in the future, so I'm okay with this one for sure. And then the last one should be the Capitals here. So this is the Columbus Blue Jackets swap. Very old school with the off-white. I think I like I was going to say the rest of the jersey, but the rest of the jersey is just the Columbus Blue Jackets jersey alternate, so I'm not really complimenting Washington here at all. But I don't like the logo. I don't like the logo colorized with the off-white. It feels a little bit too dark. I kind of want to see that in white, but yeah, it's okay. I'm struggling because I look at the Toronto Maple Leafs one, so shout out to the Toronto Maple Leaf one. I think that is good. You can be mad at me all you want. I really like it. I think it's excellent. I also think the Vancouver one, that one was super good. That one kind of surprised me a little bit. We definitely got to give a shout out to the Ottawa one. That one is very, very good. But I think I can't not give it to any other team than the Minnesota Wild. And it's not like it's a revolutionary design or Jamie spent 40 hours or something making this jersey into something incredible. It's essentially a logo swap and recolorization. But he knows it looks good. Like, he made the right decision here. He made the best decision here, not only for the team swap because they both use green, but also for the design that he chose, specifically from the Dallas Stars. This, I think, aligns perfectly with Minnesota. I would love to see something like this. This is going to be my favorite. So, Jamie, thank you so much for that. That is a weird process to go to, and you tricked me. You tricked me for sure with that Flyers one. So congratulations, you got me. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Not so much of a serious series, I guess, as we usually do on Fridays. None of these designs are actually going to happen, would actually happen. But every so often, it's fun to kind of look at these ones and just have some fun, look at them and have an open mind and really take it for what it is. And that is, jerseys that might never exist, but they still look cool. And so I hope you guys enjoyed that. And thank you again, Jamie, for sending those in. Let me know down below in the comment section, what was your favorite that you saw in this video? I'm sure Jamie is curious as well. And I hope you have a great start to your weekend. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. That helps the channel quite a bit. And of course, if you're new and you want to see content like this every single Friday, hit the subscribe button down below. I'd love to have you on board. I'll talk to you guys very soon. Have a great weekend. Adios.